What? Oh God, it's back. The table. We're doing this again, aren't we?
Yeah, we're married now. You gotta do work again.
This is AnimeCons TV at the somewhat new studio. And if you're a regular viewer, you know that each month we go through your feedback of answering questions of either voicemail, email, or hot topics on the forums. So, we do have a voicemail!
Ponies are magical?
An A for doing the old school version, I guess?
I think so. They're at least as old as we are then.
Okay, I guess. Alright.
Thanks for that.
Email! Alright, the first email actually comes from Bankrow. Sorry, I just watched the July feedback episode, so I know I should have reported this sooner. I was at Anime Expo this year where the attendance blew up. Oh, in a way I never saw before. It increased by more than 10,000 from the last year. The real showstopper, though, was Attack on Titan, a panel with producer George Wada. The 2,300-seat Petrie Hall was filled to capacity, and during the panel, this happened. I had to keep in mind that this was an anime that had only been aired in Japan for 13 weeks. LA Weekly also released a good article on the con. What do you think of AnimeCons reaching such huge numbers of attendance?
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, mainly it's awesome just because it's, it shows that there's still a market. That means that the anime companies that come over here and dub everything and release stuff here still have more properties they can acquire to release, so that means that they're still having security in the field.
Well, I also think it shows just how quickly we're able to get stuff now that's still new in Japan. I mean, it used to be years ago, we got stuff, like 2 years later, 3 years later.
Well, I mean, most technology now is also getting to the point where they're like, okay, no more region codes. This is going to have a nice flat out. If you want it from Japan, you'll get it from Japan, and you can play it. So it's pretty cool that things are getting, this big and still going on. Though, obviously some people are more successful than others, like Expo versus the smaller cons, but that's just the logistics thing.
And on a side note, we haven't watched it yet, but our fellow podcast people could tell you that Titan is awesome. So, very good reviews from personal sources.
When I'm finally getting used to this marriage thing, I'll sit down and, ow.
Getting used to this marriage thing.
I'm very used to it. Another email. We have an email from Gracie, actually one of our animecons.co.uk curators. Hi, a few weeks ago you guys did an episode on why cons fail. Recently a long-running UK event, Tokonatsu, the UK Anime Camping Festival, that's kind of fun,
neat.
was almost cancelled due to their venue losing its events license. However, due to the community pulling together, they managed to raise enough funds, which only took one evening to raise in full, from donations from the UK AnimeCon community. This means the event was able to run this year, albeit in a different date at another campsite. I was wondering, what do you make of this turn of events? And it'd be interesting to have your guys' perspective as people in the con-going community, but more internationally. Thanks, Gracie. I think that's amazing. I love it when communities want to support their con, especially if they're going through trials. We've had a few note that happened in the US too, and they managed to pay off their debt or...
I don't know any that did it that quickly. I mean, we've had a few that maybe a few days or a weekend, but one single night, that's kind of incredible.
That's really cool. I have heard of the anime camping kind of things, but they're not that big here, so I really don't know if there's any more of them in Europe or anywhere else in the world, but that sounds like a kind of fun idea.
I think it's also nice to hear from the UK community. I think there's there's cosplay communities all over the world, and some I think get more attention in the media, more attention, by other cosplayers than others. And you don't hear a lot about the UK, at least not in the United States.
No.
So to hear that they have such a vibrant community there is fantastic.
Cool. I mean, obviously we had the World Cosplay Summit, and everyone had a representation, that they sent off to it. But I know in my hometown in Germany, we used to have one. Then they wanted to kick them out because they thought they were a little too modern for such an old city. They're lost, honestly. There's great revenue that happens with conventions.
Oh, there's no stopping cosplay now. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's on TV.
Speaking of which,
on our forums, the sci-fi, sci-fi series Heroes of Cosplay is a hot topic for discussion amongst cosplayers.
In more ways than one.
We would like to do an episode, but we actually honestly would rather just sit back, see how things turns out. There's only been 2 episodes. We really want to make sure we have a very concise thing if we were to do an episode, but we would really welcome you to voice your opinions on our forums. But please, be respectful and, be constructive about your conversation. That's all we really ask.
So we do welcome differing opinions. Among our cast, we also have differing opinions on it. So we'd like to hear what you think.
Now let's take a look at a list of anime conventions that are happening in the next few months.
Now remember, there will be no new episode on next Monday, September 2nd, since we'll all be at Dragon Con and hopefully incredibly intoxicated.
Wow, she has a goal.
However, coming soon on AnimeCons TV, Doug will be reporting on Otakon 2013.
2013. As previously mentioned, we'll take a look at Sci-Fi's Heroes of Cosplay. Maybe not, I don't know.
And we'll also be talking about things that can go wrong at panels.
Now remember, you can subscribe to us on iTunes at itunes.animecons.tv.
And on YouTube at youtube.com/animeconspodcast.
Follow us at twitter.com/animeconstv.
And facebook.com/animeconspodcast.
And we want your voicemails.
No more My Little Pony.
No. But, call us at 762-ADEQUATE.
At 762-233-7828.
Seriously, con reports. Give us some. Call, leave a 30 to 60 second message, and let us know what you think of a con you're at. Do it while you're waiting in line.
And there's a ton of cons this time of year, so there's no excuses.
And you can tell your friends about animecons.com and fancons.com.
See you next time.
Hop in a bathysphere, check out the atmosphere. It's like New York, but with more fish. This on the Holy Demon's Pond looks like Joan Rivers in the morning, but down here, she's quite a dish. Aquatic nightmare drones are known to freely roam with little sisters who require their help. I mean to tell you plainly, mister, if that thing there was my sister, I believe I'd disown myself. So you're stuck a while in rapture, and politically it's tense. Libertarians scream, it's an Ayn Rand wet dream, and brother, I mean so in